There are a lot of different styles of or ways of getting calves branded. We have the table, we have the rope and drag, we have a lot of different styles of roping, and it all kind of depends on the skill level and how big a crew you can get. The calf table, to me, can be very stressful on the animals if they're not sorted properly and handled properly, and don't ram and jam and squeeze them in those chutes too hard and knock them around. And you got to be careful yourself too with your fingers and your elbows, and it's a good place to get hurt. So the calf table, if you slow it down and make it low stress for the calves and for the humans, it's a pretty good deal. Same thing with roping and dragging branding. I believe calves should be roped and drugged with both hind feet, never singles, for the safety of the calf and the safety of the wrestling crew. And in some areas of the country where they're real advanced ropers, they neck the calf and kind of walk them out and heel them and lay them down. There's a lot of different styles. Whatever the style is, you need to be comfortable with it, you need to be safe, and you really got to step back and look and say, is this the best way that I can get this calf branded, yet also help to prepare him for the next step in life, which is going to be weaning or whatever. If it makes him so afraid of humans and so bad to be around or afraid of a corral or a chute, we better slow things down and change them just a little bit.
If you're going to use a calf table, you need to have one that allows you to have good access to the calf, whether you're doing any surgical procedures or whatever you might be doing. I've used a lot of different calf tables. Some of them are better than others, but all of them have good things and bad things about them. I've not ever found what I thought was the ideal calf table, but you want to make sure that they allow you to catch a calf easily, lay him over easily, and set them back up without straining yourself too much.
We've gone to branding calves with a table, and that's not the most popular thing with our neighbors, but we don't manage by consensus or by poll, and so another thing we've done is to not only manage them in smaller groups of branding, but we'll sort the cattle like we always do, the calves from the cows, and use a table, and with 5 people we can brand 150 calves in under 2 hours. And it's a lot of times we'll set up a portable corral in the pasture and gather the pairs, and once the calf has worked and while he's in his familiar surroundings, he's back with the cow, and just try and keep that as low stress as possible. And I guess a third thing that we've done, and this is going to have some impact, I think, for as we go into the future, and that is our bull calves. We've started banding them at birth rather than castration with a knife. And I think that's another form of low stress cattle handling that it just seems like those calves recover from that branding process, and castration it just goes much smoother that way.
Today we're using a real traditional method. We're using horseback and roping and dragging and the wood fire. And I love a wood fire. You can get irons real good and hot as long as you got the good coals from the wood. I like a small pen that's not too deep, so when you're roping and dragging, you don't have to drag that calf very far. The other thing, we want to make sure there's no big rocks or gravel or anything like that. Nice slick grass is the best thing, and they'll slide on it real easy. We try not to drag them any farther than we have to for our horses and for the calves. The way I got this pen set up, we got the gate here where there's no corner for the calf to hang up on this side. And the panel swinging in protects the fire and the wrestlers and the vaccines and all that stuff over there. This is a real nice design. If we had more calves and more ropers, we could swing the gate on the far side and have a little U to protect our stuff and have a real nice flow of these calves coming out. The other thing I like to do is make sure that the calves, when they come out of the pen, they get branded, vaccinated, castrated, they can go right to their mothers and get some of that great milk and get, but nothing will relax a calf better than getting back to his mom and getting a little bit of milk in his belly.